We're going to check in on the new Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins, plus talk about USDA layoffs and a lot more news on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Howdy, good afternoon.
Hello, listeners.
It's Thursday,
I'm Jason.
Thursday
Brian.
afternoon. You know, I don't know. First of all, it's good to see you guys. We were all home yesterday.
Yes.
Got a little bit of a late start today, but it's good to be in the room with you guys.
How'd the sleet treat you?
You know, I mean, it was slick.
Yeah.
We got out. I got out once, and it was pretty slick.
Every time it snows or something like that, I like to try to take the dog out and let her play in it.
Yeah.
And we got out there pretty early in the morning. We walked up and down the street and then went and ate lunch. Went back outside and it was gone.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got out there early.
I busted it. I'll tell on myself. There was our house is on a hill, which makes it a great place to sled. But also with this type of precipitation that we had, at least here in Little Rock, it was it made it very slick. I mean, it was ice. It was not snow. And we had several individuals have to abandon ship in front of our house and just either back down the hill or something. And
we usually have, like, we live down in kind of a valley.
Yeah.
Our house is at the very peak of the valley. Or what's the peak? The opposite of that.
Yeah.
The very bottom.
valley would be the
whatever.
bottom, I think.
You know, the bottom, the depth. So there we go. Anyways, we usually have people when it snows and ice is over. They just
The deepest depths of the valley, I think is what I'd like to say.
Of Leewood. Yeah. But like usually we have people fly down both hills and just land in our yard or our driveway.
Oh my gosh.
Or they try to turn around in our driveway and they get stuck. Yeah. And I was fully prepared just to watch that through my window yesterday, and I didn't get any of it.
I heard some commotion
Which is nice.
out there yesterday, and there's a guy who had stopped. The person who had to just stop mid-trek, you know, and slid over up against the curb. Mm-hmm. A gentleman had stopped in a truck to kind of help and assess, and then a lady across the street had come out, and I came out, and we kind of put heads together. And I was just in the middle of saying, honestly, I kind of can't believe it, because he was driving an Explorer. Yeah. And I was like, I kind of can't believe the guy didn't make it up the hill. And just as I said that, my feet went out from under me. and I went down. Oh, wow. And
you got to be careful in your older age, man.
Than you
don't have the balance that you used to.
That's right.
Or the footing.
The footing, that's it. I said, well, that's what I get for talking about that guy.
Yeah.
But we got him out of there and got him back on the road safely.
That's good.
Anyhow, it's been an adventure around here.
The parking lot was still a little icy this morning.
Yeah, where I parked for sure.
Yeah.
It was a little icy. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, that's always fun.
Well, it was another day at home, I guess. But, man, I was working all day. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, you kept me on the phone for a little bit.
Well, you were one of many.
Yeah. It was a very busy day at home. I'll say that.
Little buddy had a fever though, so he wasn't very happy and working at the same time. It was a real
makes it hard
defining family moment.
Yeah,
you know.
You figure out are you resilient or you're not.
Poor guy. He felt
break first.
Yeah, he felt. I think I did. He finally felt better this morning, so that was good. Get out of the house.
Yeah, ours is. She's complained a little bit with a little sore throat a couple of times, and I just crossed my fingers, man. Please no, keep it out of here.
Yeah, that's what we were like. I hope that's not the flu.
Yeah. See, there was something else I had on my mind that I was going to bring up, but I don't remember it now. Go back and watch our episode from last week if you haven't watched it yet. It's a little bit of a different one for us. because usually when we travel somewhere to record the show, we do the whole show there.
Yeah.
But due to some time constraints, the fact that we wanted to see the programming at the conference we were going to, some things like that, we traveled up to Jonesboro last Wednesday and interviewed Matushka Lindo Briggs from the Little Rock branch of the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank.
A really good interview.
It was a great interview, and we talked to her about all the work that her team does as far as tracking, not only agriculture, but how she gets industry contributions to that from the agriculture industry, and rural communities and rural development and things like that as well.
But like I was really interested in the way they received that information.
Yeah.
Was definitely directly from a grassroots kind of style, same thing we do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Their boards or groupings. I can't remember what they would refer to them, boards, right?
Industry councils. Yeah,
councils.
Yeah.
There's the word I was looking for. We're all made up of farmers.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And their region, right? They're not just in the Southeast. They're kind of puzzled through there.
Yeah, so she shared with us a lot of the data that they've seen, a lot of the trends they've seen in the ag industry. They're also talking to private companies too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that we don't get to do very often. So she shared a lot of that input with us, and they've already invited us to come over and visit their office. They have policy gatherings from time to time, and then connected us this morning with her, or yesterday with her community development, rural community person too. So I'm excited to keep that relationship going because I think it'll be a good one. A lot of important stuff going on over there.
She sent us a meeting from one of their economists.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of us are going to attend that virtually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
That'll be good. So anyway, that's last week's episode. What day would that have been? February 13th.
Yeah, that was right. Day before Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day.
Say. So go check that out. Brian, it's been a couple weeks. How in the world are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've did y'all survive the weather?
We did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Rather uneventful. I mean, we just got a bunch of sleet.
Yeah.
So it's been good though.
Yeah. That first little bit of freezing rain, I stuck a couple errands in Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I came out and I was like, oh, the parking lot's just wet. It'll be okay. And I put my foot up on the rail of my truck, and it was zipped to the end. And I'm like, yeah, whoa, let's take another run at this a little bit more carefully this time. But I thought, that's a perfect picture of black ice. Like it just looked like my step row was wet. And
Oh,
it
very
was
much so.
frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did y'all cook anything for the cold weather?
we did 2 rounds of biscuits at my house.
Oh, wow.
Got into that last year around Thanksgiving and haven't done it in a while. But yeah, I cooked homemade biscuits on Wednesday morning, and then yesterday afternoon we made another round of.
So you weren't
biscuits.
cracking them out of the can. You were
No, buddy.
homemade.
Dough, rolling the dough out, cutting them the whole nine.
Nice.
So what's the difference between like that and say a cat head biscuit? You ever heard of those?
I've heard it. I think cat head just describes the size.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think so. Right?
Okay.
It's just the
Simple
size,
enough.
big as the cat's head.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I used 2 recipes. One's what they call an all-purpose biscuit, and the other is a buttermilk biscuit. And flavor-wise, I like the buttermilk biscuit a little bit better, even though I don't like buttermilk at all.
Is there a change in texture?
Yeah.
A little bit. Mostly what it is it adds a whole second stick of butter into that dough instead of just the one. Instead of just the one that the all-purpose biscuit uses. So, no, it's pretty good.
I wonder if you can make sourdough biscuits.
Y'all make sourdough tortillas, like surely.
Now we have an idea.
Sounds like a test.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I will say this. The idea. If you know me at all, I like to cook food and make a surprise delivery on your doorstep or leave you something or bring it to you to take home or whatever. And that was the idea with the second round of biscuits we made yesterday. And then we sat down and ate one from our original batch for breakfast. And I'm like, boy, they got to be eaten day of. A holdover biscuit, even of the homemade variety, is just not up to snuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I get that 100%.
So So I'd like to offer to bring you some, but I'd have to get up. Oh, Lord knows how early to bring hot biscuits into the office.
Come up here and in the kitchen upstairs. Spend the morning.
She'd probably love to have me in there messing stuff up.
That's biscuits.
What I heard was,
Mindy, scooted over.
what I heard, John, was you're not worth it.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. You know, I got drilled on this show a while back because I was keeping a sourdough secret.
Oh, I forgot. Go ahead.
And I ended up bringing you sourdough, didn't I?
I guess I'll have to come to the deepest depths of the valley and on a Saturday morning and deliver you some hot fresh biscuits.
I would very much like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll work on that. I did use some of the venison to make taco soup
Oh, cool.
on whatever day we went home, Tuesday.
Well, y'all should feel very, very pleased that you actually got some. Because I will not have any for this coming year.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good season.
Yeah, well,
A bare freezer.
I enjoyed mine. You had already had yours a while back.
Yes.
You guys
Yes, it was
jumped
very
right
good.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the record, we made chili yesterday. So
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
very good.
Mary Louise made red beans and rice.
Yeah.
Very good.
I need to branch out of the soup. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I always go straight to chili or something like taco
Yep.
soup or potato soup or something like that. There's other good, like, cold snow day meals
Yeah.
that are to be had. Chicken and dumplings is one. You know,
Chicken and noodles.
but I don't branch out very often. I just go for the
Well, you like what you like.
crock pot dinner. Well,
Yeah.
really, it's just ease. I can get it going and do something else.
I requested the chili. So
Did you?
had beef from Flying Sea.
Oh,
there
nice.
you go.
So
Beans
it was
or
very
no
good.
beans?
Oh, we had beans.
Okay.
It was very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. I got it waiting on me when I got home today.
Heck yeah, buddy.
That's why you've kind of been aloof all day. That's all you've been thinking about.
that chili. He's got a countdown running in his office.
What time is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the colder it gets in here, the better that chili's going to
Yeah, that's
taste.
true.
Amen,
That's
bro.
true.
That's why I'm wearing
That's
a
the
coat.
truth. Anyway, next week, not been a ton to talk about this, but I just thought it should be worth recognizing. If you're planning to come to Farmers Day at the Capitol here in Little Rock, we're excited to see you. Should be a fun event.
You'll get to see us.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully you're planning to come and join in the festivities. We're gonna be at the state capitol attending meetings and different committee hearings. You'll be able to interact with your elected officials on the state level. Obviously, there'll be food involved because it is Farm Bureau. A wonderful photo on the Capitol steps, and all kinds of fun to have. So look forward to seeing everybody then. And then I thought real quick, I know we've talked about this the past several weeks, but the U of A Extension Winter Ag production meetings, there are a few coming up. We just started with tomorrow, but Randolph and Lawrence has a meeting tomorrow, Clark County on the 26th. The morning of February 28th is the Phillips and Lee County meeting. There's one on the morning of March 4th for Craighead, Poinsett, Greene, and Mississippi counties. Another morning meeting on March 4th for the River Valley. March 5th morning in Greene County. March 6th morning for St. Francis and Monroe. So call your local extension office. Go to UADA's website. Do whatever you need to do to get the locations, times on these. That you can also see the commodities that they'll be discussing and talking about there. A lot of good information at these meetings.
Absolutely.
We encourage you to attend those.
Sorry, I stepped on my microphone.
You're right. You're like, who's yanking my
I was
neck
getting
over
stuck.
here?
I was getting pulled down. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was me.
Well, anything else? Or are you feeling situated?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm kind of thirsty.
You got a big water bottle.
Yeah. That's more of a prop.
Okay. I understand.
You going to be
that.
okay over there?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm going to
wondering.
make it.
Do we need to do a cut and
No.
let you get settled?
No, I feel like I can read right now, so I should be all right.
Well, then, let's capture that energy. Get
No
into
cuts,
it.
baby. We're carrying on.
We're here.
Warts and all. Here we
Yeah,
go.
that's it.
No, wait. All right. So
All right.
our first story. You ready?
Yes, get into it.
All right. Last week we talked briefly about Brooke Rollins, Rollins' confirmation as U.S. Ag Secretary. So today I wanted to provide some of the Secretary's comments from her first day on the job, given that we said we would follow this from last week. So you can imagine the Secretary's first day was filled with media interviews and various other meetings. She commented that her long-term goals involved realigning the agency with its original intent of, and I quote, working for our agricultural community, our farmers, ranchers, and our rural communities, and more broadly, bringing prosperity back to rural America. Although I'll get into this in my next story, the Secretary came into office after President Trump offered federal employees the option to resign with pay. Somewhere around 75,000 employees accepted that option. However, she has yet to confirm how many of those employees were within the USDA, which consists of around 100,000 employees across the country. On the other hand, she did pass on that she was in support of President Trump's view of a more streamlined and effective government. She also plans to work closely with the president's new Department of Government Efficiency, or better known as DOGE, to better align USDA around its core purpose of supporting farmers and ranchers. The Secretary also wants to focus on issues within the ag community, such as avian influenza and government contracts. The Partnership for Climate-Smart Commodities was an example of a government contract the Secretary gave. She plans to review those contracts that have been frozen and have left farmers and ranchers uncertain about whether or not they will be reimbursed for expenses incurred under such programs. Announcements on these issues should come out as soon as next week, is what she said.
Okay.
The Secretary was quoted saying, "Our intent is to ensure that the programs are supporting our farmers and our ranchers, but that we're also aligning with the President's vision on any commitments that have been made." She also added, he would not support Green New Deal specific programs that don't align with where he thinks the country needs to go, end quote. So although some of this can seem pretty vague, and honestly that's expected for that kind of situation or first day media interviews, but this might give a glimpse into what we can expect from the Ag Secretary going forward, and the USDA will also continue to follow these plans as they roll out. And my next story kind of plays into this too.
It does.
So hold on.
Yeah, that it does. All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about some outlook projections for row crop season. Farm Progress is reporting some early outlook on planting based on inventory data, supply and demand, as we like to call it. And we wanted to cover that today for those who may still be considering planting decisions. And I'm going to give you a shout out too, because you sent your soybean division newsletter earlier this week. Was that this week? Last week? I think it was earlier this week.
I think it went out Monday.
Yeah. And you used some of this data from WASDE in that email. So
So I'm your source of
good looking
information?
out. You're not. Farm Progress is, but I just wanted to say you talked about the same thing. It's basically what I'm saying to you. According to reporting from Farm Progress, the market is sending signals. Plant more corn and less soybeans this year. This is due in part to the projected growth of soybean ending stocks and the decline in corn ending stocks for the 2024-25 marketing year. They spoke with grain marketing specialist Nick Piggott out of NC State Extension for the story. Piggott pointed to larger ending stocks of soybeans globally and domestically as the driver for lower soybean prices. With great yields last year, ending stocks ticked up 11%. He said that that means there's a reasonable stockpile to begin this growing season, and that brings the pressure on the prices there. On the contrary, corn stocks are down, which is where the concept of the market calling for more corn is coming from here. All in all, the March 31 planting intentions report will give us a much better look at where the market is headed, though. If we see soybean acres stay the same or even increase, that means corn acres will be down again, and the price of soybeans could go lower, mainly because these two crops historically compete for the same ground, especially in the South and Midwest. I guess we'll have to wait and see how this plays out, but will certainly be interesting to watch. Speaking of those commodity division newsletters, I think you also had in there the call for input from USDA
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
planting intentions.
I think FSA was sending out a survey.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. So they're sending out a survey for planting intentions. I can't remember what that link was. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, I don't either. But we need to participate if you see it.
Yeah. Like always, we always push participating in these surveys because that information always goes back to where a program's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And where do we need the assistance? As an industry, and if your voice, then it's opportunity for your voice to be heard too, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And thinking about some of these, some of the things you talked about at the top of the show with USDA and things like that. If you're not represented in there, people may not understand how important that program is to you, or this commodity is to you, or whatever that may be. So.
Yeah, and pertaining to your story, Dr. Hunter Byram, our friend over at the U of A Extension, he said the same thing. He's got an index that he runs that kind of shows the difference between corn and soybeans to some extent. I'm probably not verbalizing that correctly, but his index was basically saying that it looks like, or not suggesting, but it leans more towards corn. And that was back in January.
Yeah.
What, 14th?
Yeah.
So that's it's probably the same information he was looking at, but I think as the year goes on and more of these numbers come out, I think more and more of that's going to come true.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a quick break from the news to hear about Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas.
Let's do it.
Are you tired of one-size-fits-all health coverage? Welcome to Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas, where you're in control. As a benefit of Arkansas Farm Bureau membership, you could save up to 40% compared to traditional coverage. Plus, you get comprehensive benefits, can enroll anytime, and access to Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield's comprehensive network. Arkansas, we've got you covered. To join Arkansas Farm Bureau or find your plan, contact your county agent or visit arfbhealthplans.com.
All right, by now I'm sure everyone has heard or seen something pertaining to President Trump's new Department of Government Efficiency, which I referred to in my first story. You probably heard it referred to as DOGE, and the mass layoffs of federal employees. For the most part, the work of this department is to find wasteful government spending and cut where the department deems necessary. This also seems to be the reason for the mass layoffs as well, amongst other reasons. For time's sake, I won't go into all the legality issues that have risen from this, but I did want to give some information about how this has impacted federal employees within the USDA, which may in turn impact our industry. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
The firing of probationary federal employees has swept out many workers across USDA, including loan analysis and the Farm Service Agency, field offices, analysts in the Farm Service Agency field offices, as well as ag scientists and about 1,200 staff of the Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS. And this is according to AgriPulse and their sources. So to make that clear. Currently, there are somewhere around 200,000 federal employees nationwide on probationary status. And what that means is they are in the first year of their federal employment, or in some cases, the first 2 years. So those employees just got cut.
Yeah.
Right? According to AgriPulse, multiple sources claim the USDA also is demoting employees who were recently given senior executive service status. This title is reserved for top-performing managers just below presidentially appointed positions. AgriPulse has also reviewed several federal employee termination notices that include language claiming the firings were based on performance. However, it seems terminations extended to all probationary employees. In addition, employees said they had either received good performance reviews or no formal reviews at all. Friday, last week, USDA released the following statement, and I quote, USDA is pursuing an aggressive plan to optimize its workforce by eliminating positions that are no longer necessary, bringing its workforce back to the office, and relocating employees out of the national capital region into our nation's heartland to allow our rural communities to flourish, end quote. The department also titled the cancellation of contracts, including media subscriptions, and the end of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programs and positions. So we'll continue to monitor this situation like we do all the other stories we give, but specifically because this could impact local FSA and NRCS offices, where many farmers rely on for loan assistance and conservation practices or programs, along with other services those offices offer.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there because, not only like what we mentioned in the first story was government contracts and all those being frozen at the moment. Still don't know where those are going to fall, when or below or above that red line, right? And then start decreasing the number of employees in these FSA and NRCS offices could hinder the work they do. And what I'd also read in this article was that NRCS had been trying to expand their workforce up until all this started. So they viewed themselves before this understaffed, and now they're going to be even more understaffed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see a lot of change happening right now, and a lot of things to watch. Well, believe it or not, the beneficial ownership information reporting piece of the Corporate Transparency Act is back in the news. Something y'all have heard us talk about a lot.
Yep.
Probably not since early January, late December, but time to bring it back up again. While we've been snowed in, the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Texas had a ruling that put beneficial ownership information, BOI is what we'll call it, reporting requirements under the Corporate Transparency Act back in effect. You'll remember over the Christmas break, the 2 weeks between Christmas and the New Year, this sort of went back and forth in the courts. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off, and not really much since then. So, however, because the Department of Treasury recognizes that reporting companies may need additional time to comply with their BOI reporting obligations, FinCEN is generally extending the deadline 30 calendar days from February 19th, which was yesterday. The decision came down on the 18th, and then the 19th would have started the 30-day countdown. That's for most companies. The department says during this 30-day period, it will assess its options to further modify deadlines while prioritizing reporting for those entities that pose the most significant national security risks. So it's very likely we could come back and have another new deadline to talk to you about as they continue to evaluate that. FinCEN also intends to initiate a process this year to revise the BOI reporting rule to reduce burden for lower risk entities, including many U.S. small businesses. Reporting companies that were previously given a reporting deadline later than March 21st, 2025 should file their initial BOI report by that later deadline. Yeah. For example, if a company's reporting deadline is in April 2025 because it qualifies for the certain disaster relief extensions, it should follow the April deadline, not the March deadline. Reporting companies can report their beneficial ownership information directly to FinCEN free of charge using their e-filing system available at boiefiling.fincen.gov. More information is available at fincen.gov/BOI. And I'm going to spell that last one because you can get everything there. FINCEN.gov, GOV/BOI. So, again, a lot of back and forth on this. This is, y'all know we've reported on this. I think the first time we did it, American Farm Bureau said there could be up to 200,000 farms across the U.S. that are impacted by this. If you got an LLC, you probably need to file it. Your accountant can help you. Your attorney can help you understand that. But it's back on. You've got 30 days now.
I feel like we've been talking about this since 23, like the end of 23.
It's been a long time, man. Yeah. It has been a long time. We put it in the commodity division newsletters. Yep. I mean, so anyway, a lot going on with this back and forth in court. But it sounds like for now it's back on. You've got until March. I was looking for that date again, but you've got until March 21 to get it filed.
Yep.
If you haven't already done it.
Cool.
All right, that's the news for us, I think, this week.
That's the news.
That's the news, which means it's time for...
It is time for...
Here it comes. Stump the host. There it went.
Yeah.
So, categories. Arts, science, entertainment, history, general, geography.
Man, you would be brave if you were to choose geography.
No, that's That's a wide swath of opportunity.
That's why I said it would be a very brave thing to do.
I think you should go first. Did you go first last time?
I don't remember. Well, he hadn't been
Speaking
here
of
in 2
geography,
weeks.
let's just kick it off with that. What's the opposite of the highest peak?
The deepest depth.
I'm kidding. I couldn't resist.
Yeah,
So,
that's
go
pretty
ahead.
funny. That is a great
Well,
geographical.
in honor of that, let's pick geography.
Oh, you
Oh, okay. He did it.
silly man.
He did
We're
it.
here for entertainment, not to show how smart I am.
Yeah.
All right. On which river is the Asian city of Mandalay situated?
You know, when I said
Yeah, jump
geography,
out
I
there
was
with
thinking
such
more like islands and peninsulas.
Jump out there with such confidence. I like it.
Yeah, I was thinking of like land formations
Yeah.
more so than.
Well, land to
What?
form that river.
That's true.
Very true.
Just entertain me with that question again, please.
Sure. On which river is the Asian city of Mandalay situated?
Mandalay River.
Oh.
No.
I thought he might have had that.
I'm just glad I didn't have to attempt that again.
I don't know. Yeah.
The Irrawaddy
Oh.
River.
You were so close.
The Irrawaddy. What was I thinking?
All right.
I'll go with entertainment.
Entertainment. Who voiced Hercules in the 1997 Disney movie with the same name?
Oh my gosh. That feels like maybe something.
Say that last. Who
Who voiced Hercules?
Hercules in the Disney movie?
he also had the same last name as Hercules?
No, the movie was named Hercules.
Oh, okay.
And
The
actor
character and the name.
Yeah.
That feels like something The Rock would have done.
No,
won The Rock.
man. I don't know. I really don't
No
know.
guesses?
Was it? It wasn't Kevin Bacon that was the bad guy. Somebody similar to him, but that's not the question you asked.
No, it was James Woods that was the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
He played Hades.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. He played Hades in
In
Hercules.
Hercules.
What else is
James
he in?
Woods. James Woods was in a bunch of cop
Yeah, he's
stuff,
been in-
right?
Yeah.
Not the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Clearly
yeah.
not Kevin Bacon.
No.
Uh,
he kind of looks like him.
Man, I know you're going to say the name. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, that was the guy I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He played the
but
bad guy.
I knew it wasn't Kevin Bacon.
One of his most iconic roles, James Woods, for me, was the movie with Michael J. Fox, where he was the cop, and Michael J. Fox was the actor shadowing him, called The Hard Way.
Huh.
Remember that?
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that.
No. I
Oh my
don't- I
gosh,
don't
it's a
remember that.
hilarious movie. Very good. Anyway,
Well, he's been in a lot of stuff, though.
oh, he's been in a ton of stuff.
You looking up
But-
the answer?
He's one of those guys. No.
I don't know.
Even a guess.
I'm gonna say. So that would have been late '90s, mid '90s.
I can tell you, you're not going to get it.
Oh, well. How about that?
I have no confidence.
Let's
Yeah.
pretend that Jonathan Taylor
I did-
Thomas
I did
was
look it
also
up.
Hercules and Simba in Lion
I don't
King.
even know the person. I did look it up. I don't know the person.
Tate Donovan.
Ah, yes, Tate Donovan. What was I thinking?
We are struggling out of the gate today.
As Matthew usually says, that's so 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right, Johnny.
we still have arts, science, history, general, or you can say none of those.
History.
History it is. Who was the father of Cleopatra's twins?
Oh my gosh. He's got this on extra hard mode.
I'm glad this
something.
isn't like the ACT or anything.
Yo, buddy.
This might be worse than the ACT.
Yeah.
I've seen this guy before.
Do you know your Cleopatra history at all?
Yeah.
No, I know nothing.
Because this one should be fairly simple.
Should be. No,
It's your question.
I don't know. Louis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Is it? I don't know. I'm not taking a guess.
I'm disappointed.
Okay.
Mark Antony.
Mark Anthony.
Antony.
Anthony. Right.
Anthony.
Right.
So-
right. Good
So-
clarification there.
For the record, 0 for 4.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good.
I'm taking one for the valleys.
The deepest valley. That makes sense.
Yeah, you
So anyway,
lost there, buddy.
there you go.
All right. Well, that was a pretty good one.
Depends
for
on which
you, not
side
for
of it
us.
you're on.
For you, not for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're glad
anyway.
I'm back, though, right?
I'm very
yeah.
glad you're back. I'm glad we're back. Are you on the road next week?
What's next week?
Commodity?
No, this isn't the last week of February.
Okay,
No,
all right.
I'll be gone the first week of March.
Okay. All
There
right.
you go.
There it is. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Well, listen, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Yeah, remember you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
And make sure to subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. Get ready. I'm Jason Brown,
And I'm John McMahon.
and we'll see you next week.